Y'all in there? Y'all in, hello? Hello? Is this thing on? How does this thing work? What's going on, guys? My name is Corey and I am back with another video to show you how I edit photos. Just the basics in Lightroom, how I edit them. We're not going to go over face retouching today or anything like that, but it's all going to be out of Lightroom. So I'm going to show you how I edit like this. This is one of the ones we're going to edit. And I'm going to show y'all how to edit like this. I mean, it's not really too crazy of a process, but yeah. What I first do is I get here, I load them all, I import all the photos off my camera instantly. Boom, just like that. Boom! Boom! Okay, so first thing I do is I find photo I want to edit. You know what? Let's actually go, let's do, these are all practice. I always take a few shots before, check the lighting, test my settings. Alright, I hope that's focused on a ring. Let's do this one. I like this one. So first thing I do is I get the white balance and we'll click boom, somewhere white just to set the white balance. We're set. Alright, so always, this is just a hack. I learned this from Peter McKinnon actually. He says instead of wasting your time and trying to find these exact settings and tuning them exactly straight from scratch, if you hit this auto button right here, boom, it will adjust it to what it believes that it should have. And sometimes, you know, I don't agree with everything, like the highlights. I don't want the highlights all the way down. I want some seem like kind of angelic kind of feel behind it. Shadows, we'll take the shadows down a little bit. I don't really like too bright of photos. Whites, we'll give it about 35. All right, so right here we're messing with this, all of the the tone of the photo. Clarity, vibrance, and saturation, I don't really mess with those too often unless I'm going for a very specific look. I just leave it at whatever the auto goes to. So in clarity, I'm not gonna mess with that at all. Blacks is just like shadows, it'll just pull it up, kind of wash it out. So we'll leave that, we'll leave +7. All right, and the little backslash key on your keyboard, if you're on Mac, I'm not sure if it's different for Windows, you get your before and after. So, you know, just by hitting that auto button, it goes from this, a little darker, still not a bad photo, to this, you know, seems a little bit more bright behind her, brightens up her face, just something like that. All right, then after I do that, I always go into the white balance and I try and find something that I like. So over here, we're gonna go to temperature. We're gonna just try and see which way we like more. Just barely, you don't have to move it much at all. You don't have to, I don't really ever go above like 15. Then you get above that, yeah, it's 28. 20 still really goldish. So we'll go about 10 and we'll take the tint. We'll go a little bit more green to like try and bring a little bit of color. We'll go a little purple. We'll go +2 purple. We won't mess with it too much. All right, so that's where we're at. A little bit warmer, a lot brighter in the background. Outfit is a little toned up. Face also a little toned up. See your eyes a lot better now. So the one you have to watch out for, especially shooting during the daytime. Nighttime it's not as big of a deal, but daytime you have to be careful with how much you move the red and orange sliders. All right, so these right here, you have to be very careful about moving these right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just, I like to first just go to the extremes and see what it changes. So we're gonna take red. All right, it gets some of her face, a little bit of her face, and her sweater changes, her lips most definitely. So I really like those kind of reddish pink lips. So we're gonna keep this, we're gonna go to 30. All right, luminance, the brightness of it. We're gonna turn this up a little bit, just about 50. If you go too high on the luminance, it will actually start to wash out the photos. You'll be able to pick out pixels and stuff like that. Same with actually changing the colors. If you do it too much, it's just going to be a big difference, especially with pictures. If you have the sky in the background, the sky's not just solid blue. You know, if it's later in the evening, you're going to have some purple down at the bottom or up at top, and then some teal, and then in between you're going to have some blue. You can't change all of those colors drastically because you're going to have hard lines where those pixels actually separate, and it chooses, okay, these are purple, these are blue, these are teal. You have to be careful with messing with the colors. You can't change them too drastically. It'll actually mess up your photo, but it also is a really good thing to use. So we're going to check orange. You can see now what I was talking about. You can't change orange much at all. So if anything, I take orange and I leave it at 0. Here, another thing, if you're right here and you're having trouble getting it right back to 0, double tap it, goes straight back to 0. Boom, problem solved. All right, so saturation we're going to leave right there. We're going to take the brightness of it a little bit up. We're going to go about 20. And now is the point after changing the skin tones, because red and orange is really what changes their skin tones. So we're on yellow now, and you just take yellow and I just move it back and forth, like I said, to its extremes. I like more yellow in my photos than green, so especially yellow we're going to take down to 70 right here. It's on 70. You check the brightness. If you turn it all the way down, you can actually see what it affects. It's a lot easier to see the darker colors washed out than really bright. But you can almost see up here above her head, right around here, where it's actually starting to get kind of grainy, washed out with it all the way turned up. So we're going to take yellow and we're going to leave it at about 20. About 20. All right, next we're going to go to the greens. All right, so yellow, all those warmer colors have been done. You know, those are the 3 you really have to worry about. Orange and red mostly. Orange at the top, you have to watch out for how much you adjust the colors. That's why I really don't adjust or change the color of orange at all. So now we're at green, and you can see where it changes. You see the tree. I'm just going to take it all the way to about 75. Turn the luminance up a little bit. That's all the way at 100. That's not what I meant to do. We're going to turn it up to about 16, 15 area, anywhere below 20, above 15. So let's go to aqua. Aqua is going to be somewhat in the sky. I'm not really going to mess with that. Blues, I really don't want to mess with that either, because also she's wearing blue pants, so if you mess with that too much. So I want to go more on the teal side. About 14. Turn the brightness up a little bit. Get that about to 30. And then purple should change her pants a little and her jacket some. So, but also it's affecting those pants a little bit more where those shadows were. That when I adjusted blue to go to teal, the purple fills in the spaces that I could not get with the blue. So purple we're gonna go up to about 40. Leave it about there. All right. Next thing I think of, magenta, I'm really not going to mess with that because I'm worried that it could mess up her sweater and wash it out in some spots, have some spots look like stains or something. Don't want to mess with that. Next thing that I move to is right here on detail. Alright, I really normally will bump the sharpness up a tiny bit. This is always better to zoom in on their face because this part is the part that their face is most worried about. Alright, so sharpness will bump up to about, we'll maximize it real quick. Alright, you can see it start losing right there. We'll go down to 10. 10? 10's good. Noise reduction. Don't go overboard on noise reduction. You go overboard, it looks like a freaking painting. It looks like an oil painting. I normally try and stay below 40, if anything below 30. See, this is on 34, and it's still really blurry. So that's 20. Bump up. Another thing you have to watch out with this is hair. Hair starts to look matted together. Alright, so 28, I'll stick with it. It kind of smooths the photo somewhat. You get a little less, it's just smooths the photo. Also, it's better to use just a little of that and then go into post-production. Well, I say post-production, this is post-production. Go into Photoshop and do your face detailing and stuff like that. Noise reduction on color, we're gonna bump that up to about 20. So what's that? So what that does is it actually kind of helps blend the colors together if you do have anything that's washed out will somewhat blend colors together. See, like if I had a hard line right here, if these pixels will load, if I had a hard line right here and I adjust the colors too much and it washed it, I wouldn't want that. Alright, so now we're back down to where lens correction is. Especially with a photo like this, you know, it's bright, happy looking, sun's on her. I want to edit around, you know, the edges. Instead of going, you know, darker, which is like this, I try and bump it up some white, you know, and we'll go all the way with this one because post-crop vigneting, yep, that word. This one will, you know, blow it out of the water compared. So what I do with this one is go to just about anywhere from 10 to 15. We'll go 12 on this one. Alright, so that's mostly okay. Also shadows, you know, this won't affect it too much. Okay, so I go to the green, you'll have a little bit more purpley shadows. You go to the purple, you'll have warmer shadows. I normally like to keep it right at 0. Don't mess with it too much. I don't do it. Alright, so here's the first photo. We'll take this before, which is about here, I guess. Alright, there's the before. Here's the after. Just a little bit brighter, brightens up the photo. Colors are just slightly adjusted. Stuff like that. Alright, so we're gonna do one more. My hands around your hips, are you down or not? When you move it like this, you get that a lot. I'm pretty gone, can't tell where we stand or what to do. We've got a vibe, something different, and I'm letting loose. You want control, do your thing, just don't get out of line. You've got it all tied up for the night. When it's that you ask about me, go tell your friends we're nothing concrete. Want you to know exactly how it is. It's getting late, let's keep it moving. Understand I want you around me. Don't tell yourself it's something concrete. Want you to know exactly how it is. It's getting late, let's keep it moving. All night I've been thinking about you. Got me hoping that I see. And that's about it for that one. You know, those two photos, that's normally my normal editing process, and I go through, adjust accordingly to each photo. But that's how I do that. This is it right here. That's final copy. Alright? I really like how that one turned out with the warm in her face, but you also have that blue behind her with her blue pants. It just looks really good. I like that photo. And then this photo is the one we just did. Boom. This is the second photo right here. Alright? I really love how this one turned out as well. You know, it seems with that shadows tinted all the way green, really popped out some purples that I didn't expect to pop out. You have the kind of darker feeling from the plants behind her, and then the purple on her, you know, the purple shirt at this point. It just gives it kind of like a cooler feel, but you also have those sun rays, so you know it's still a nice pretty day, just the setting was a little darker. I really love this photo. But yeah, that is how I edit most of my photos. I'm gonna try and start posting every Thursday. Every Thursday a new video come out, you know, depending on it be a vlog, it be a you know, a tutorial, it just might be what's in my camera bag video, a draw my life, something like that, or just like little like hacks on Lightroom, just like hitting auto. But every Thursday I'm gonna try and drop a video on this channel. But that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you want to see more, subscribe, and we can continue to do stuff like this every day. Not every day. So every Thursday, no matter what it being, something will be posted on Thursdays. Also, hit the notification bell. You'll get a notification every time I post a video, which would be awesome. And yeah, that's it for today. My name's Corey, and I will see y'all next week. Boy!